Well, thank you very much, Sue, for sitting down with me. I'm keen to know, as a leader of the School of Cultural and Professional Learning at QUT, what are your principles for change leadership?
My practical experience and my research experience in schools is developing schools to be inclusive. And my PhD is on inclusive school culture. So that whole theory of being inclusive, which probably isn't a normal leadership theory,
Right.
As such, informs a lot of what I do. And so being respectful to people, being honest, trusting people, giving people opportunities to be successful, so looking for people's strengths, being collaborative, being inclusive, empathy, so when people are in difficult situations, empathising and providing support for those types of situations, and so those values, I think, inform everything I do as being a leader. They actually inform me as a person, so it's my philosophy of life rather than just what I do at work. It's actually how I live my life. I think it informs the vision, and so we have a strong focus, I think, generally on issues around social justice. I think that's an important part of QUT in general, but particularly in this faculty and in this school. Theory in terms of leadership theory would be about democratic leadership, and I look to get people to come together with me, to work with me. I've got this idea, what do you think? Would you like to work with me in this way? But I think feedback is important. So one of the things that I've been doing recently this year is using Stop, Start, Continue, which is a teaching practice that we've used for many years. Encourage them to give me feedback for me as head of school, so things they want me to stop doing, start doing, and continue doing. So that's feedback for me personally as a head of school, but then also I encourage them to do it for themselves, which is really interesting, and it really opens up interesting conversations. So I'd have an open door policy as much as possible. They'll pop their head in, they said, have you got 5 minutes? I want to talk to you about something, and that's always fine if I'm free. And then I also walk the corridors. I like to keep I suppose on top of things and to make sure people are okay. So are you okay? I work hard to model being inclusive in how we work. Whereas years ago when I first came here, there was a very big divide, I think, between professional staff or administration staff and academic staff. So I think particularly in this school, people work very inclusively and acknowledge that work.
So I know that you've been involved in some fairly big change. How does your inclusive leadership principles, how do they play out in such large-scale change?
You're not going to bring people along with you on the change journey unless they respect you and unless you have a relationship with them. So time to listen, I think, and respectful communication, acknowledging that often change can be really challenging for people and people feel often very threatened. Have to be really prepared to give people time and support and listen to them, and that's also really important part of that national work, because the national work involves partnerships with about 50 organisations and people across 7 universities. It's an element of reciprocal sort of respect, and that really comes through development of a partnership, a relationship with people. I really enjoy working with people and having lots of laughs with people. I mean, we often cry, get a tissue out and have a cry, but there's a lot of laughing that happens in this office, which is fun.
So thank you very much. It's been a really lovely conversation, and I know the students who are going to be listening in are going to really enjoy the insights that you've been able to share. So thank you.
Thank you, Jill.